spring mornings. As Grandpa Ibrahim tenderly worked the soil in his wide garden, his 9-year-old grandsons, Yusuf, Yunus, and Yaqub, ran to him with joy. Every flower seemed to be in a festive mood. Ibrahim set his shovel aside and smiled at Yusuf, pointing to a rose beginning to bloom. "Look, my boy," he said, "there is a great secret to be told in this awakening." Yunus and Yaqub huddled close, eager to hear what their grandfather would say. While Yunus followed a fluttering butterfly with his eyes, Yaqub watched a tiny ladybug crawling on the earth. "Children," Ibrahim said, "there is an invisible signature on everything in this garden. We call it the Seal of Unity. It means every living thing shouts in its own language that it was made by the same artist." Ibrahim called Yaqub to his side and pointed to a tiny green sprout just peeking through the dark dirt. "Think about it," he said wisely. Every spring, 300,000 different species of plants and animals are resurrected on Earth at the same time. They all wake from their winter sleep. There is no confusion and no delay. Each one appears in its own time, wearing its own beautiful clothes. Ibrahim and Yusuf walked toward the flowering trees. The creation of so many varieties with such speed and perfect order shows an infinite power, Ibrahim explained. "See how not a single one is forgotten, and none are mixed up. Even with 300,000 types of life waking up at once, the brush of the artist never makes a mistake. Isn't that a wonderful generosity?" Yusuf and Yunus began comparing the leaves of various trees. One was jagged, another smooth, and another shaped like a heart. They held them up to the sunlight, tracing the veins that looked like tiny maps. They realized that even though the trees drank the same water and felt the same sun, they all chose to wear different, perfect patterns. Ibrahim sat on a wooden bench with Yunus and took a small notebook from his pocket. He read the meaning of a verse from the Quran. "Look then at the Prince of God's mercy, how he brings the dead earth to life." Yunus looked at the sky, feeling the peace in his grandfather's voice. "So, Grandpa, are these flowers blooming because of God's mercy to us?" he asked. Nearby, Yaqub and Yusuf walked under the grapevine arbor. The dry, stiff branches were only just beginning to turn green. Yaqub touched the rough, woody trunk of the vine. "Grandpa," he called out, "how does this dry piece of wood give us those sweet, juicy grapes? It looks so dead and brown." Ibrahim took Yusuf's hand and led him to a thin, hanging branch of the vine. "Last year, I counted 155 clusters of grapes on this very branch," he said. "Think, Yusuf, a thin, dry stick carries many times its own weight. Each cluster is like a little pump filled with honey-sweet water. Could a simple piece of wood do this on its own?" Ibrahim showed them how the vine was changing. "The seeds are a program of destiny, hiding the giant vines of next year," Ibrahim explained. He placed a piece of fruit in Yaqub's hand. "By sending us the most delicious food from a dry branch, the Creator shows both his power and his love. This vine says, 'The one who made me is one.'" Yusuf and Yunus looked at the garden once more, thinking about everything they had learned. Now every flower, every insect, and every leaf felt like a letter written just for them. Ibrahim smiled, seeing the spark of awe in his grandson's eyes. The sky was bright blue, and the garden sparkled like a divine art gallery.